mama. Patawag ka sabi.
Okay, kung ano yung lagi si
ka nang, nata ko ihangyo ni mo, day ba? So, wala ko representative sa PTA. Ikaw unta akong i-representative ba niya. Na ako i-forward ni mo nga link. Tanawa, pamati, day. I-forward na ko ni mo
sa link. Mike, Madam Gloria, manglibak kay diha bantay ka.
Masakpan lagi.
Madungog ka inahan.
Oh, gani. I-filter gamay na itong. Okay, so time is up. It's 8:32 in my watch. So, gaya ng watch ba yata, maulaw ta, narabay mga watch advocates dire. Late na tag minutes again. Good morning, everyone. Morning.
Good morning.
And God is good. It's
morning, Mama. Good morning. Morning, Sir Eldin.
First session.
Hello, sir. Good morning.
For PND. So, naging first batch of PND to be shared with this orientation on Task Force Error Watch. Klaro ba po? Klaro ba po, Tel?
Yes, ma'am. Okay lang, ma'am.
Okay. So, this time. Okay. So, acknowledge ba natin yung mga point. And of course, with Ma'am Didio is also Ma'am Angelita Suelto. Okay. So, plakpakan na to. Bird clap natin ang mga kasama natin to help us learn on to help us something new for us yung sa error watch. Okay. So, Sir Eldon, I think for PND, every school has been represented. And some
all right, complete, ma'am, na. All accounted 11 schools from Panabo North District.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, let's start formally, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Wow.
All right, so good morning, everyone. So may I now give the chat room to our facilitator this morning, Sir Ronelo P. Labrador. Sir Ron, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Good morning. So, klaro ba kung audio there, sir? Klaro ba sa audio? Okay, so good morning no sa our school heads of Panabo North District. Okay, so sa lahat ng ating mga kalahok ngayon, kauna-unahan ko pupulong, magandang umaga sa lahat. So, bago tayo magsimula, so narito muna ang ating house rules ng mga panuntunan. So, una, leave the keyboard alone. Mute your microphone and turn off your camera when you're not talking. Speak up, then stay seated and stay present. Don't multitask during the online meeting. So maraming salamat. Ito po ang ating mga panuntunan. So magandang umaga muli sa lahat po ng ating mga participants. So magpakilala muna ako. Ako po si Ronelo B. Labrador ng Panabo City National High School. So, sa ating Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Inanti Solitario. Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, Ma'am Mapibigay L. Repamonte, CPA, CC. Our CID Chief, Januario A. Yamuta. SGOD Chief, Dr. Eileen Anuevo. Education Program Supervisor in English, Dr. Maria Perpetua Angelita Suelto. Dr. Education Program Supervisor in Filipino, Sir Peter A. Mijares. Education Program Supervisor in MCB MLE, Bichuani C. Aguilar. Education Program Supervisor in Values Education, Dr. Eldin Orbita. Mga kapakuguro, magandang umaga sa lahat. So, formal na po natin simulan ang ating pagpupulong sa pagbibigay pugay sa ating may kapal na susundan ng ating pambansang awit sa pamamagitan ng audio-visual presentation.
Almighty God, our Father, We praise and thank you for this day. You have given us another opportunity to appreciate life and to fulfill our mission as your instruments of peace and progress. Please pardon us for our shortcomings. Help us to amend our impieties. May we learn to pattern our lives through your Son's example. Father, bless our endeavors, especially today's meeting. Guide us in our discussions. Enlighten our minds in every decision that we make. Give us your courage and grace that we may effectively do our part as public servants. Bless our plans, programs, and projects so that we may achieve our objectives for your greater glory. All this we ask in Jesus' name.
Okay, to deliver the welcome remarks and rationale of this meeting, malugod ko pong ipinakilala our Curriculum and Implementation Division Chief, Dr. Januario E. Yamuta.
Good morning, Sir Ronelo.
Good morning, sir.
Dumog ba ko, sir?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
Okay. Thank you to our program supervisor in charge of this task force, Error Watch, Dr. Eldin Orbita, to our EDM coordinator,
Sir, good morning.
Silto, our LR manager, MTB coordinator, Ma'am Joanny Aguilar, our PSDS assigned at Panabo North, Ma'am Miriam Revilla and Ma'am Spring Soto.
Good morning.
Good morning to all the school heads, LR coordinator, school, SIC coordinator, school information coordinator, and Earl Watch coordinator of Panabo North District, to all the school head principal, to all the taxpayers, magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Magandang umaga po. Okay, I was assigned to give you rationale, but before the rationale, I would like to remind everyone that this task force error watch is very essential. Why? Because a lot of our modules, based on the social media and the reports of our central office, there are a lot of errors. But what happened, instead of collecting that one and correcting that one, some of our personnel, kita mismo sa DepEd, we try to bash our agency. Especially so kung naapadyoy laing social advocate, no, na makakita sa ato ang mga error, sila na ang naga-disseminate, naga-katag ang nga trabaho. As an agency, as an DepEd employee, we should help each other. Dili nato unayon ang atong kaugulingong agency or department because This is our bread and butter. No? So kung madaot ang agency, madaot po tatanan. That is why last week, all our program supervisors are oriented on this task force error watch because all subject area supervisors are also in charge to take charge of the different subject area na ilang handle. Yesterday, yesterday, we also oriented all the public school district supervisors. And we try to divide kasi kung iisahin natin ang whole division, hindi tayo magkasya sa platform natin. So, the 2 PSD is confirmed that they would like to have this morning, no? Ang Panabo North District ngayong umaga kasi kasali ang school-ed, school information coordinator, LR coordinator in the school, and the newly designated task force error watch coordinator together with the school heads and principal. So that is why that is the scenario that we have, no? So thank you so much for attending this one, no? Because this is a very important orientation that we would like to conduct by district ito kasi parang malaman ninyo kung ano yung gagawin niyo. Later after my there will be our in charge of the different program, the ADM and our LR, who will give you the details on how to correct, no, and how to report the error that you observed and what are the things sa i-consider na tong error. Grammar lang ba? Design lang ba? No, there are a lot of things to be really discussed by our speaker. And I am asking you also to actively engage, no? And we would like to ask our coordinator sa Task Force Error Watch, Sir Eldin, na meron tayong attendance, no? Magkuhan tayo ng attendance, Sir Eldin.
Yes, sir, John. Posted na po. Yes, sir.
Okay. So,
yes, sir. Posted na po sa chat box natin, sir, yung attendance link natin.
Very good. And we would like also to
yes, sir.
Give the certificate, no? Sir Eldin, bigyan natin sila ng certificate. Those who can submit their attendance and probably their, we will post a question siguro, Sir Eldin, no? Para makita natin yung mga concern nila. Okay, so
yes, sir.
I will give you the rationale, no? Present muna ako. Present tayo. Okay. Nakita na ba din?
Oh, yes, sir. Na-present na po.
Thank you.
Yes,
so, good morning once again, my dear principals and all the coordinators in Panabo North District. Kayo talaga ang nauna. With the leadership of your public school supervisor, Ma'am Revilla and Ma'am Putol, sila ang susubaybay sa inyo. They will also monitor in this particular mission that we have. So, this is the rationale of Task Force Error Watch. Very obvious, no? Yung title natin, Task Force Error Watch. Titingnan natin dito kung ano-ano yung mga dapat bantayan na magiging considered na error, no? Kung wala bang period, error na ba yun, no? So, dapat yun ang mga itatanong natin mamaya. Our department, the Department of Education, my dear friends, announced the creation and Error Watch initiative. So this is an initiative coming from our central office, spearheaded by our Yusik Alin Pascua, no? To correct errors in student learning materials. So what are the student learning materials na i-consider nato? So malalaman natin mamaya. So hindi lang SLM, hindi lang modules, marami pang mga learning materials na talagang babantayan natin na ginagamit ng ating mga paaralan, ng ating mga guro, ng ating mga bata. Kung wala ba yung error, no? This is in response to numerous reports about errors found in learning materials allegedly released by the DepEd. So kung napapanood na ninyo yung mga nakaraang mga balita sa TV, sa social media, talagang binabas tayo, no? Left and right, no? Pati yung congressman natin, no, na congressman sa ibang bayan, sa ibang region, talagang inaatake ang DepEd kasi hindi daw natin nababantayan yung mga error, no? So this is in response to the problem. So released by the DepEd, kita daw yung nag-release, bakit hindi natin nabantayan yung error? So titingnan natin ito, no? Yung focus tayo dito. The goal of this initiative is to receive and collate reports of errors. I would like to underline, receive and collate reports of errors found in different learning materials. Ano ba yung mga learning materials? Nakasulat dito, example, self-learning module. Nauna talaga kasi majority of our students, majority of our schools, majority of our parents are opted to use self-learning modules, no? So nauna siya kasi yan ang tinitingnan talaga natin. Aside from self-learning modules, ito yung itinatawag na other printed materials kasi marami tayong printed materials na ina-download sa DepEd TV and DepEd Commons, no? So other printed materials found in DepEd TV, DepEd Commons, DepEd TV YouTube channel and more, no? So this is the materials that I am referring to, learning materials. So module, other printed materials such as in the DepEd TV, DepEd Commons, DepEd TV YouTube channel. And anong gagawin natin dito? To forward this to the appropriate offices for validation and correction. So validation and correction. Baka hindi yan nanggaling sa DepEd, no? May mga haka-haka na yung mga error ay hindi DepEd made. May mga ibang private school na gumagawa. So kung private school yan, dapat ibalik natin sa kanila, no? Kasi kung private yan, hindi yan gumagamit sa DepEd natin na materials. Yan ang dapat titingnan natin kung talaga ba saan galing yung materials na may error. So mamaya, i-detalye yan sa mga speaker natin kung ano yung dapat bantayan. Grammar lang ba? Yung intellectual property rights lang ba? O yung mga design or ang tawag yan, mga structure, no, in creating that questions or statement. The DepEd Task Force Error Watch is an initiative will make use of 3 platforms for reporting. Meron tayong 3 platforms na gagamitin natin sa pag-report, which will validate errors for immediate and proper correction. Anong mga platforms ito? 1, we have an email, errorwatch@deped.gov.ph. errorwatch@deped.gov.ph. So kung meron kayong mga kamera dyan, pwede natin yung picturean ito sa ating mga kamera para makita natin. Ito yung una, saan natin dapat i-report yung error na nakikita natin, no, na nanggagaling sa DepEd. So errorwatch@deped.gov.ph. Second, we have also text and Viber. Text and Viber, meron na number dito, 0961-680-5334. The third platform is FB Messenger. Atong FB Messenger, DepEd Error Watch at DepEd Error Watch. Yun ang natin, Messenger natin, DepEd Error Watch at DepEd Error Watch, small letter. Pang-apat, we have work chat, DepEd Error Watch. https://deped.workplace.com/groups. Ito yung number, 61-63-9298-567-1470. I hope na pinitsura ninyo para meron tayong proper platform kung saan natin pwede i-report yung mga nakikita nating error sa ating mga learning materials. Moreover, dissemination of these details is desired to enable an efficient and proactive system of improving the department learning material across all modalities. Across all modalities, kung yung school mo gumagamit ng module, pwede pasok dito. Kung gumagamit naman siya ng RBI, gumagamit naman siya ng modality ng TBBI or online, pwede pasok pa rin dito, no? Kahit anong modalities, pwede nating i-report as long as may error. Kaya I really ask Sir June Aguilon, nandito ba si Sir June Aguilon o mamayang hapon pa, na makasama siya sa orientation na ito kasi sa TBBI, DLDM, no? For that matters, pasok ang lahat ng mga modalities sa DLDM. Kaya I am also asking na DLDM School Coordinator, kung siya ang nagiging School Information Coordinator, isa na siya, so dapat makasama siya sa orientation na ito kasi pasok sa mga modalities kung anong ginagamit natin sa ating paaralan, titingnan natin yan, no? So, pati yung ating DLDM coordinator sa division, si Sir John Aguilon, ay kasama dito na magmasid, magmanman, mag-filter sa lahat ng mga modalities o sa lahat ng mga materials na may mga mali or error na pwede natin i-report at i-correct. Hence, this initiative comes after 1 week of close monitoring of the opening of schools. Dati sa panahon ng opening nito sa DepEd natin, pero ngayon lang natin nabigyan ng pansin kasi yung orientation ay from central office down to the division. So marami, no? So ngayon pa lang. Pero at least next year or this fourth quarter that we have, or yung mga meron pa kayong mga napapansin na mga errors sa first, second, third, and fourth quarter ng mga modules or learning materials, you can still report that one kung sa tingin ninyo talagang mali, no? And talking to teachers and students, so reading feedback on social media, ito yung mga nakukuhang mga feedback galing sa field, no? Opening of schools, sa monitoring of opening schools, talking to teachers and students, reading feedback on social media, kaya nagkakaroon tayo ng task force error watch in response to this problem. We wish to immediately address these mistakes with the help of our citizens. So, kahit kaya nga I am advising also our school head, principal, na in your school, sa orientation ninyo, isasama ninyo yung PTA president, yung representative ng barangay, kasi sila mismo yung mga taong may otoridad na makakasagap ng mga balita na may mali ang ating mga learning materials, dapat sila din masama sa orientation para alam din nila kung saang platform o i-report sa ating mga guro para yung guro natin na ang mag-submit. Especially so yung error watch, task for error watch coordinator ng ating mga school. Ito yung trabaho nila. Their prime job is to collect and report the error that they receive coming from our parents. Yung mga parents natin, may mga maraming nakakaalam dyan, may mga alam yan, makikita din nila yung mga problema. So dapat hindi i-chismis, kundi i-report sa proper authority for proper correction sa ating mga higher ups, no? So sabi ni Yusip Alin Pascua, magtulungan po tayo. Let's help each other rather than bash the agency. The teachers and school, this is the time for bayanihan. So I would like to ask the principal na yung mga active natin, ng mga parents, isama natin sa school orientation natin kasi you are also mandated to have your school orientation regarding this task force error watch. So, may mga kayo yun ang magiging leader dyan sa iba't ibang school ninyo, sa iba't ibang paaralan ninyo, kayo yung magiging chairman of that task force. So, dapat yung mga tao din na magiging member sa ating school, dapat yung mga active at may mga kakayahan, no? May kakayahan na mag-report sa ating authority, sa mga guro kung saan yung dapat na i-report yung mga error watch o error na nakikita ng mga parents natin, pati sa mga bata natin, no? So this is the time for bayanihan. Hindi ito ang panahon na tayo ay kita mismo, mga teachers o DepEd employees for that matter, yung nag-disseminate ng mga wrong na mga ikatag na to, no? Dapat tayo ang unang-unang mag-correct, no? We will have the proper orientation kung saan babanda natin dapat. So mamaya, ibigay sa inyo yung mga dapat bantayan, kung ano ba yung mga error na dapat i-report natin sa ating right authority. I think this is the last slides, no? So thank you for listening, and I am expecting that Panabo North District will really have an active engagement in this orientation. Medyo mamaya, marami ng mga technicality, pero this is for all of us, no? So pakinggan natin at saka prepare your question because meron tayong open forum mamaya, question and answer. That's it, Sir Eldin, Sir Ronilo. Thank you and good morning.
Okay, thank you so much, sir, for that wonderful remark and rationale. Kay Doctor, of course, to Dr. January Iyamuta, no? Ayan na po. So alam na natin yung mga iba't ibang titingnan, kung ano yung mga kailangan nating baguhin o i-upgrade, no, sa lahat ng ating mga SLMs at iba pang learning materials para sa TV, radio broadcasting at sa mga task force error watch. Isa pong karangalan, no, na ating may report ang kailangang baguhin kung mayroon mang pagkakamali sa ating learning materials for us to deliver a thoroughly quality education for our learners, para sa bata at para sa bayan. Ngayon naman, para basahin o ibigay sa atin ang activity metrics ng ating pagpupulong sa umagang ito, please help me welcome Education Program Supervisor in Values Education, Dr. Eldin Orbita.
All right, thank you so much, Sir Ron. Okay, so greetings to our SDS, Renante Silitarios, ISO 6, to our ESDS, Mampibigere Pamonte, to our very supportive CID Chief, Sir Januario Iyamuta, to our SGOD Chief, Ma'am Aileen Villanuevo, to the school heads, school error watch coordinators, LR coordinators, our DLDM coordinator, school information coordinator, PTA president in attendance, our parents, ESDS, Ma'am Mary Revilla, Sir Jun Aguilon, our DLDM division coordinator, our speakers and facilitators for this morning session. Good morning. Okay, so this time, my task is to present to you our activity matrix so that you'll be guided on the sequence of our program this morning. So this activity is allotted for 3-hour session from 8:30 to 11 a.m. So let me read to you our matrix now. So we're done already with our preparatory, our infographic prayer and pamansang awit through our audio-visual presentation. So we also done with the welcome remarks and rationale by our CID Chief, Sir Januario Iyamuta. And this time I'll be presenting now our activity matrix. After that one, so we'll be having the introduction of our participants. Then we'll have the highlights of this activity, the revisiting of our LR standards and presenting to us the common errors of our SLMs by our Education Program Supervisor, Ma'am Joanny C. Aguilar, followed by the term of reference to be presented by our EPS, Dr. Maria Perpetua Angelito Suelto. Then after that one, we'll be having our open forum to be facilitated by our Public School District Supervisor, Ma'am Mary Ann Revilla. And to end these sessions, we will have our closing prayer through audio-visual presentation. So that's it. That's our activity matrix for this 3-hour activity this morning session. All right, Sir Ron, go back to
Okay,
you.
thank you so much sa Dr. Elvin Orbita. So, ayan, no, alam na po natin kung anong magaganap, no, at ating pag-uusapan ngayong umagang ito. So, this time, let us have a revisit on common errors in the self-learning modules so that we will be oriented and it will be presented to us by Education Program Supervisor and MTB MLA, Dr. D. Giovanni C. Aguilar.
Aba, na-doktor na ko. Thank you, sir. Kini advance na ko punta, no?
Law of attraction, ma'am.
Good morning. Okay. Good morning. Can I be heard clearly?
Hello, Ma'am Bidjo. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good
Yes,
morning,
po.
everyone. Good morning sa tanan nato nga mga teachers, school heads, and parents from Panabo North District. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Ma'am Mary Ann.
Good morning, Ma'am
we
Jo.
also
Good
have
morning.
good morning. What a good morning. Miss you all. And sige, I present to you now. Before presenting pala, yes, in the matrix, it was mentioned that I am going to give you a brief revisit on the LR standards. But I decided that we will focus more on what are the errors that we should watch for. Because let's give the LR standards to those who develop the materials na lang. And because we are the task force error watch, so let's focus on what types of errors do we need to watch out for in all the modules that we have received. Okay? So, ayan na. Once again, have a nice day to each and every one of you. And I hope that you all listen carefully to all the things that I am going to share with you today, because these are the things that you need to report to us once you find them and validate them in the modules that you have received. Now, these are the errors to watch for. These are the things that are against the LR standards. So first and foremost, Sir Yamota mentioned about the different kinds of learning materials that we have received, that we have been using in our division. Some of us may have used activity sheets. Some of us may have radio broad or radio-based instruction, TV-based instruction. But most of us have used the modules, our self-learning modules that were published by the CO, the central office, and the regional office. There are a few of the modules that we have received or that we have used from Tagum during the second quarter. But most of our modules, ano yan siya, from the region and from the central office. Now, why are we basing everything sa module? Because in this time of pandemic, yung module talaga ang nakasave sa atin, especially in the implementation of the MELCs, the most essential learning competencies. Now, let me give you a brief review as regards modules. These modules are defined as a self-contained, self-instructional, self-paced, interactive learning resource for learning a specific topic or lesson. It is supposed to be self-contained, self-instructional, and self-paced. Unta mo na yung nahitabo sa to, ano? Dili kay sila dependent sa ilahang mga kauban. These are the ideal definition of our or descriptions of our module. Gini siya ang purpose unta sa module. Learners can get immediate feedback. That is why the answer keys are given and should be printed sa module, dili siya dapat skip, so that the learners, while answering the activities in the module, can check themselves whether they are on the right track. And if they are not, they can correct themselves automatically. Now, a module encourages mastery of learning. Supposedly, dapat talaga na-master nila because the module is there with them for a week or for 2 weeks, sometimes for a month. So they can just revisit it over and over again. Most especially with the number of activities that they have, tawag nito, they have been given. So talagang ang target dapat natin is the mastery of learning. Now, this can be made readily accessible to learners. That is why tayo talaga, I think we are one of the few divisions lang in the region who give 1:1 ratio. One learner, one module talaga. Even though gi-strategize nato na we only printed 50%, pero we strategize that talagang isa ka bata, isa yun ka module, no? Learners can acquire a better self-study or learning skills, and that they are trained to be independent and responsible for their own learning. Wapo kayo, no? Trained to be independent and responsible for their own learning. Supposedly, ideally, this is one of the purposes nga ng module atong gigamit because they will be trained to be independent. The problem now, realistically, some of our students have become too dependent on their siblings, on their mother, father. Di na sila kayo mo sa module if they are alone doing the job. So, sige lang, at least, even if they are not independent enough to do the job, ang side effect that the bonding between the siblings and the parents with the child, okay na rin tayo dyan, as long as there is learning. Now, our self-learning modules have been the basis for our modular instruction, online, radio-based, TV-based instruction. Whatever instruction, whatever modality that our schools have chosen to deliver or to use as a learning delivery mode, ang basis talaga natin is the module. So, kung nagkamali ang radio broadcaster or ang TV reporter, basing it on the module, meaning mali pa rin ang nasa module. Okay? So, we will focus our watching of errors in the modules that we have received. Now, basically, and ideally, our SLM should be free from errors as regards 3: content, language, then layout and design. Okay? Sa LR standards, ito talaga yung gina-quality assure ng ating mga evaluators. These 3 categories: content, language, and layout and design. So ito rin ang focus natin when we watch for errors. Okay? So, eto na. Kaya nga sabi ni Sir Jan kanina, instead of bashing our dearest writers, our dearest authors who have exerted effort, extra effort na talaga ha, because even after teaching, they have full responsibilities, but on top of that, they have also shared their time and expertise in writing the modules. Teachers ang gumawa ng mga modules natin, teachers ang nag-evaluate. So the moment we bash them online, any module that we bash online, we are bashing our colleagues. So instead of doing that, magbayanihan na lang tayo. We will report yung mga mali so that we can also rectify those mistakes. Now, what are the different errors? Ito na. What are the different errors? Sabi ko nga, content, yung categories ha, content, language, and layout and design. What are the different errors? But before that, let me remind you that before reporting an error, you should take note of the following. Okay? The subject area, the grade level and quarter, the module number, the title, the author, the writer, the publisher, and the page number. So that when you report the error to us, we will know which module should we rectify. Kasi pag i-report lang ninyo na, mali ang module niya yung ani, tapos picturean ninyo, which module was that? Out of the hundreds or thousands of modules na that we have, how can we identify which specific module should we rectify? So please take note of the following. Now, you can have that, you can see all of that details sa copyright page. Copyright page is found at the back of the cover page. Murag sa page 2, cover, sa likod niya dayon, there's the copyright page. I hope you all printed the copyright page. I always emphasize that when you print your modules, do not skip anything, most especially the copyright page, to give justice to the development team and the evaluation team who exerted so much effort in developing that module. Okay? So, if you can see over there sa taas, itong in red lines, you can zoom it out if you want. If you use your cell phone, you can zoom it out. Mathematics, grade 4. So, klaro ang subject and then klaro ang grade level. Then, quarter 4, module 8, the title. So, quarter, klaro. Module number, klaro. And then the title, which is probability. That's the title of the module. Now, the writer or the author, you can see it under the development team of the module. Kanang nakabox. So, maklaro ninyo ang writer or writers. Depende na siya. Then, the publisher, ito yung publisher sa baba. Kasi iba-iba para malaman natin if it's division developed, if it's regionally developed, or if it's centrally developed. So, para malaman natin saan natin ibabato yung errors na nakita ninyo. So please look into the publisher. So naklaro man diya sa baba, kaning diri banda, printed in the Philippines by Department of Education, Region 5 Bicol. So you copy Region 5 Bicol. Some of the modules meron dyan, Department of Education, Tagum City Division. So you copy Tagum City Division or Panabo City Division because we have writers also. So you write it there sa kwan. You take note of that. Okay? So, klaro na siya ha. Now, these are the specific, more specific types of errors that you need to look for. Under content error, meron tayong conceptual, factual, procedural, computational, violations on social content, and violations on IPR, as Sir Januario mentioned earlier, intellectual property rights. Ano kaya ang magiging error when it comes to IPR? Under language error, we will look into the grammatical or syntactic errors and also the spelling and punctuation. Number 3, layout and design error as regards illustration, kanang how the arrangement of the pictures are, so you will know later. And we will add one more. Kanina sinabi ko 3 categories lang. Supposedly, we're going to make another form for this, but I decided that we include it in our error watch. We will add printing error report. Although this is just a local concern because we are the ones printing our module, so meron tayong magiging printing error. But we will not report that to the regional office. We will only answer to that internally, locally. Okay? So let me specify and discuss more or give some examples as to what type of errors are these specific errors. Okay? So let's try number 1 under the content error. Conceptual error. Ano ba ang conceptual error? Pag nagkamali, pag-explain sa concept. Okay? Example. Sa English, kentahay. The concept is, if the subject ends with S, do not add S to the verb. Okay, kasagaran sa lower grades, ganito ang sinasabi. Kung ang subject gani na ay S, wala gyud na is ang verb. The girls joined the dance competition. Example, very good. The boys cheer for the girls during their performance. Tama. But what about the glass reflect Jessica's image? Kaya nag-end man og S ang glass. Reflect ba gihapon ang verb? Walay S. Even if the glass is singular. So, meaning our concept is wrong. It should be if the subject is singular. Dili kay concept lang tanga if the subject ends with S. So that is a conceptual error. Okay? Look for that even in mathematics or in any subject na mali ang pagka-explain sa concept. Please report that. Okay? If you are, syempre sa inyong mga co-teachers, they are teaching the subject, they know better as regards the content, as regards the right concept. So, you refer it with them kung tama ba o mali before you report it with us. Okay? So, that's one error, conceptual error. Another, factual error. Ito. This is published textbook by Phoenix. Lakbay ng lahing Pilipino. Ang nakapula diha, iba't ibang pananim tulad ng hagdan-hagdang palayan sa Ifugao na makikita sa rehiyon ng Ilocos. Anong mali? Anong mali dyan? The hagdan-hagdang palayan sa Ifugao ay hindi makikita sa rehiyon ng Ilocos. Makikita ito sa rehiyon ng Cordillera. Okay, so it's not in region 1. So it's a factual error. So facts na gyud siya. So let us be watchful of that in our modules. Kay basig na ay ning simang. Okay? So now that's number 2. That's another error. Factual error. It's going against the facts. Okay, next. Procedural error. Yung procedure natin, yung instructions natin is medyo may mali. Add all the digits together. Example sa mathematics. Add all the digits together. Tama bang ginawa ng bata? 34 plus 56 equals 18. Pero ang is add all the digits together. So tanang digits daw i-add. 3 plus 4, 7, plus 5, 12, plus 6, 18. Oh, tama ba din ng bata, di ba? Kag-i-add man niya all the digits together. Pero it's on the procedure, it's on the instruction that we made mistake. So, instead sige, ingon na lang nato. Add all the digits in the ones column. Then, add the digits in the tens column. So, nga naman kasagaran, no? Ang ato ang instruction, ang procedure. O sige, ginawa rin ng bata. 34 plus 56, 4 plus 6, 10, 3 plus 5, 8. Oh, so, mali pa rin. So, in giving the procedures, we should take note that it is very specific. Okay? So, add all the digits once in the ones column. And then carry over kung kung sobra siya 10. So, kabalo na mo math, ana. Katong carry and then add. O, ganon. Okay? So, procedural error yan. Then, sa mga experiments. So, tanawon po nato as teachers, we should also look into before giving our modules. I-try sa po nato kung ma-follow ba ito nga mga procedures. If not, report it as a procedural error. Okay? So that's another type of error. Next, computational error. Yan, computational error. Sa math, sa bagay, na po ni siya sa uban ng mga subject areas. Kaya dagan ba po taga-compute in other subject areas? No. So this is an example. If the pizza is divided equally into 6 parts and Nina got 1 slice of it, her share makes up 1/6 of the pizza. 1/6 of the pizza, which is about 15%. Asa man ang error? 15%? Kung i-add mo na 15 times 6, 90 raman na. Dapat 100%. So it should be about 16 to 17%, more than 16%. So medyo nasemplang si teacher. Okay? So that's computational error. Ma'am Carmen de Guzman also, when we borrowed some modules from the other division and she checked it along with her team in mathematics, they also found out some computational errors, most especially sa answer key. Or sometimes, sa multiple choice, wala dito ang answer. So you try to compute as well kung naabay computational error nga makita. Okay? Next, violations on social content. Siyempre, when we say social content, dapat man god ang atong mga modules will gear towards attaining the kind of children that we have. Dapat sila lahat maka-Diyos, makatao, makakalikasan, makabansa. Ayan, di ba? So, kung mag-violate na aning mga maka-Diyos, makatao, makakalikasan, makabansa, that's violation on social content. Ay, 7 slices, mali lang siguro ko pangita o 7 di ito. Dapat 6 slices lang. Ayan, sorry. Ako yung nangita o kuwan. Huwag ko nag-ihap, no? 6 slices to siya. If it is in 6 slices. Ayan. Selfie. Ayan. Violations on social content. Example, ito tayo. Unlike most Filipinos, she has curly hair that makes her more beautiful. She looks like a mestiza with her pointed nose and white fair skin. Ngano, unsa day ang most Filipinos? Straight ang hair, less beautiful? So bias, no? So medyo hindi yan siya makatao or hindi rin siya makabansa. Magaganda lahat ang mga Pilipina. Okay? Another, kaning picture sa baba, a child kicking a cat. Ayan. Hindi rin siya, hindi siya makahayop. It's still against our values. Ayan. So, never, kung makakita mo ging ana, report that. So, dapat dili nga na, even if ang instruction is tama o mali, wag na lang. Let us promote positive values rather than negative values. Kaya basi ka na lang picture ang ma-single out sa bata. Then, another, here is a test. Isulat ang nanay, tatay o anak sa mga sumusunod na tungkulin. Nagluluto at naghahanda ng makakain para sa pamilya. That's gender bias. Pwede naman ang anak ang magluto. Pwede naman ang nanay or ang tatay. You don't need to assign stereotype talaga na pag nanay, siya lang ang nagluluto. Diba? Ang dami na nating family na anak or tatay ang nagluluto. So, wala dapat gender bias sa ito ang mga modules. If you can see gender biases, then report that. Okay? Next. This is now the violations on intellectual property rights. Ito. Intellectual property rights is a topic that is very broad. Very broad yun siya. Sa writers na to na ihatag. But as error watchers, ito lang ang gusto kong ma-emphasize. Let's take this as an example. Evaluate the web pages. The writer used screenshots of a website, mga pictures, mga illustration, images from the website without citing the source. Okay? So, labi na o ka ng mga images ganing anay watermark. Those are copyrighted materials that we should never use and publish. We can use it on our own sa atong classroom, but never as published material like our modules because we publish them. So those are violations on IPR. So we make sure that all the images, if they are not original, labi na ning klaro kayo nga gikan sa internet, we report them as errors because they need to be cited with asa sila gikuha, asa ang source ato nga mga images. So most likely kana ang kasagaran nga makita nato sa ato ang mga modules. So violations on IPR. Okay? Next, let's proceed to the language errors. of course, grammatical error, ito talaga ang first and most common error that we see in our modules. Even though grabe na kaayo ang giagianan natong mga modules as regards language evaluation, dili gyud maano nga naapat gyud gihapoy mga ginagmay or tinagko nga mga mali. So all you need to do is spot them and report them. Okay? So example, ito sa TV, ito sa DepEd TV, nakita ninyo ning issue. Tagaytay City is known for wonderful picturesque of the majestic Mount Taal. It's very wrong grammatically. Wonderful, kung gitahay ang meaning sa picturesque is wonderful. Tagaytay City is known for charming, a wonderful charming of the majestic Mount Taal. No. So may pagmayon kag Tagaytay City is known for its picturesque Mount Taal. Ayan. So grammatically, it's wrong. So you should look for the agreement between subject and verb. Klaro naman tano, kabalo naman taan na, kung medyo nasemplang, report it. The correct usage of verb tenses, misplaced or dangling modifiers, unclear antecedents and agreement between pronouns and their antecedent, faulty parallel construction. She loves to sing, to dance, and eat avocado. No, kanang mga ingana daghan kaayo. So dapat kung mag-to dance, to sing, dili na kamo sumpay og eating avocado. So dapat she loves to eat avocado, to dance to the music, and to sing in the video kay dili kay and singing in the video kay dapat parallel construction ang mga sentences. Split infinitives, kanang kung mogamit ta og to, these are very minor pero kailangan pa ring i-report. Split infinitives, after the word to, dapat it should be followed with the base form of the verb, to dance, to eat, to sing, to sleep. Wag mo nang lagyan ng splitter sa gitna. Sabihin natin, to cheerfully sing, to gracefully dance. Ayaw na siya butangi sa tunga. Basta to, kay mga bata man na to ang ginatudluan, diretso ka sa verb. So, to dance, to sing, to eat. Overuse of certain words, paulit-ulit, pati ng daghana ang gamit sa word. Then redundancies, maumara po siya sa overuse of certain words. So, if you spot those, report them. Next, spelling and punctuation error. Ito, although it's sometimes typographical, pero kailangan pa rin siyang i-correct because typographically, mali gid siya. Kung typographic error siya, nagkabali lang ang duha ka letters, wrong spelling pa rin siya. So it needs to be reported, even if it's in Bisaya. Pareha ng example. Ako si Emma, nagpangidaron og 27 anyos. So makita daw ninyo da asa ang mga mali din ha. Okay, para dita magdugay, I'll show you. Ako si Emma, dapat na ay kama. Ang og o ang og, permanente yun siya nga medyo na problema. The use of og and ug. Og, ug with the U is and. Ako, ug, ikaw. Kung dili gani and, og na siya. Nagdala, og, tubig. Mamupuay, og, saging. Yan. Then, enhinyero. Our spelling should be inhenyero. Yan. So, medyo something is wrong. Komponya. Labi na Bisaya kay mapula na nitanan sa papel, no? So, dili na mapansin. So, kung pag nakita nyo itong mga ganito, might as well report that as well. Ha? Kay spelling error pa rin. Okay? Klaro? Next. Layout and design error. Let's have this as an example. Kung nakita ninyo ang page, ang mga pictures nag-overlap, ang page number natabunan na. These are layout and design errors. So medyo pag-save siguro or pag isan-asa na niabot, wala na tarong og layout. So these are errors. These are not your kasi pag ganito, maglibog na ka, kinsa gyud ang number 2 asa nga image. So error na siya, overlapping, pagination errors, nagsugod kag 1, 2, 3 o yan nila niambak og 6, 7, 8 nalahi na ang page, broken or missing images, nga wala na nangamao ang mga images, unclear illustrations, spacing issues, dikit na ba kayo or lagyo na ba kayo ang mga spacing sa letters, words or sentences, use of unrealistic and inappropriate colors, basig nahimo ng kuan pula ang color sa tao or whatever. Labi na dito sa mga colored nga printout. So those are some of the layout and design errors. So kung makita ninyo na, report them as well to us. Lastly, at akong gidugang is the printing error. Ito yung error that tayo ang may gawa. Ayan, tayo as the print managers, tayo as the printers ang may gawa. Hindi na ito gawa ng writers, ng development team and evaluation team. We are the ones making or committing this error. Example, skip pages. Nawala si page 2, 3, 4, 5 because you opted to delete them, to not include them. Pag-abot sa bata, naglibog na siya, anong activity, ang question sa activity, bisad unsaon niya pangita asa ang concept ato, asa ang explanation, he or she can no longer find it because you opted to skip printing that page. Okay, so that's our printing error. Another, no answer key because you opted not to include the answer key. So, wala, di ba? Ang target ng ating module is self-paced. Feedback immediately sa mga bata. But you decided to not include that. So that's our printing error. In booklet form, there was never an instruction that you print the materials, the modules in booklet form. It should be printed in an A4 paper. Or kung wala na yung A4, pwede si short. O wala na yung short, pwede si long. But never in a booklet form. That is why our SDS medyo nasuko gyud siya pagkakita that there are some of us who printed in booklet form. Good thing na correct na siya. Hopefully, na correct na gyud siya. Okay? Next, non-colored printouts. Just like this example. Pagtapatin ang bawat Crayola sa wastong kulay nito, how can the child match if you printed it all in black and white? That is why the instruction before is before printing, look into those pages that need to be printed in colored. Para makaprint mo isa ka page lang nga colored and then isuksok ninyo sa inyong black and white nga printouts. Okay, mayon mo, black and white lang man ang mo ang ma'am, black lang man ang gihatag sa mo nga printer. So, kaning isa ka page, you can print it in your own school. I know for sure that you all have colored printers in your school. So, mag-print lang mo for pages nga kailangan yun o colored. So, that's not an error sa ato ang development team, but ours. Next, ink smeared printouts. Wala na nabasa kay nag-smear ang ink. Di na gyud mabasa kay natabunan na og black ink ang ato ang papel. So, those are some of our printing errors. So, you also need to report that to us so that we can rectify them in our own level. Okay. How will we know nga na ang error nga nakita ninyo kung dili po ninyo i-report sa MUA? Okay? Yan. Now, you report those errors as you find and validate them. Dili kay ikaw lang kita murag mali man ni siya. I-report na nako ni. Please also validate if those items that you found are really errors by referring them dito sa right people like your master teachers. I-validate sa nga error yun siya and then you report them to us for us to rectify and issue a notice of correction to everyone. Okay? So, how do you report? Sabi ni Sir Jan kanina, he mentioned a number of mga contacts di ay. Pero kato siya, diretso to siya sa national level. what we are after here is we also have our own internal way of reporting para we will be the ones, kung makita nato nga local concern, we can rectify it immediately. If it's a regional concern, we will forward it to the regional people. And if it's a national concern, we forward it to the central office. So I suggest that you report it first to us before reporting it directly to the central office. Because if we can rectify it directly here in our level, much better. So please have your copies or your cameras. You take a shot of this tawag nito URL address, and then ito ang gagamitin natin anytime that we find errors, validated errors, and report them to us. https://tinyurl.com/Panabo error watch. Let me explore, or let me take you to explore what is it in our tinyurl.panabo./Panabo error watch. Okay? Okay. When you click on when you copy and paste it on the address bar, dito sa address bar yun ha, dili dito sa search bar. Sa address bar talaga. So you will see this one. Let's zoom it out. Ayan. So error watch report. Ito yung makikita ninyo. First that will be asked for is the grade level. Example, grade 1. So let's click on that. And then next. Just click next. Then subject area, di ba, na-take note naman ninyo. Example, English. Then next. Okay? Then quarter. Sabi nga ni Sir John, any quarter, any module, even if kang asa na siya nga quarter, you can report it to us. May it quarter 1, 2, 3, or 4. So example, you find an error sa quarter 2. So report that. Next. And then, what's the module info? Diba sabi ko, before you report, you should know the module number. Example, let's have module 1. The title is, example lang, verbs. Example lang ito ha. Writer is Giovanni Aguilar. Example. Yan. Then, publisher is Region 11, Panabo City. Yan yung publisher. Page number na nakita ko, halimbawa, page 8. Location of error, nasa middle part siya ng page, yung mali. Okay? Next. Then, what type of error? Kasi English siya, siguro nakita ko grammatical error, and siguro may nakita pa akong mali sa spelling and punctuation error dun sa page na yon. So whatever error nga nakita ninyo on that page, you can just check it out. You just tick the boxes. Kung asa din ha ang error nga mali. Error nga nakita. So yung gi-explain ko kanina, andyan lahat yon. Ang type of error. Kung isa lang po ang error, isa lang po ang i-tick. Kung daghan, then you can tick whatever is appropriate. Then specific details of the error. Here you explain the error that you find. Example, itong yung sinabi ko na lang kanina na ginawa kong example. The glass reflect Jessica's, kunwari ang kay spelling man no, ang image pag yun is nahimong yun, nagkamali. May typographical error. Example. So, that's the specific details of the error. Okay? So, yun yung mali. Tapos, sabihin ko, verb, subject, verb, agreement. Or whatever it is. Ano man yun? Na equal. Yan. Then, spelling. If you want to put it Okay lang. Basta very specific nga detail. Yan. What will rectify the error? So, if you can suggest, then so be it. You type it. Okay? So that kami po nga mo rectify na po may daan suggestion. Okay? But if wala kay idea how to rectify it, you just put there no idea. But if you have an idea, so put S to reflect. Tapos change guide to image. Yun. Diba? So, those are your marks. What are the actions taken in your level? In your own level, so reported the error to PFAW. Okay? Or rectified it already. Or pwede siya, or issued notice of correction to the parents or pupils. Diba? Kung na mo'y gihimo sa inyong level. But still, you need to report it to us so that we can act on it on a division on a wider level or sa region. Basigikan dito, dapat maka-act po sila. But in your level, you already have taken action. Then, next. After that, syempre, kailangan na mo makahibalo kinsa nag-report. So, kinsa may naghimo sa report like Mecrasol, Barbarona, konse muhang name, Ma'am Sol. Then, she is the LR coordinator, example. So, anybody can report, anybody from our task force, the DLDM or the ADM coordinator, the LR, the error watch, the SIC. So, bahala na mo kinsa inyong i-assign or kung daghan kayo mo nakitang error para sabay-sabay mo, sige mag-report ta sabay-sabay. So, you can just select your own designation. Or even if mga school heads, pwede rin kayong mag-report. The EPS and the PSDSS. Then, si Ma'am Sol is from Panabo North. So, you click on Panabo North. Pag next nito, ang lalabas is the schools from Panabo North. If you click Panabo Central, ang lalabas na schools naman is Panabo Central na schools. So since Ma'am Sol is in Panabo North, so lagay natin dito nasa RD Mabitag si Ma'am Sol. Okay, then next. Okay? So thank you for report. Then you submit that. Yun lang. Okay? So, yun lang ang magiging, hindi ko muna ito sasubmit kay ano pa man, kanang game lang muna to. Trial pa lang. So, at least you know how to manipulate or how to go over our, tawag nito, URL ad. Okay? So, again, yun lang. So, every time that you can see an error, you just, go to this URL address and then report the error to us. Kami na ang mag-consolidate. Kami na lahat-lahat. Consolidate by district, consolidate by school. Amin ng trabaho yon. Okay? So para easier na on your part. All you have to do, report it to us. The moment you find them, the moment you validate them, report the error to us. Okay? Thank you very much, and we will now proceed. If you have questions, you just write your questions on the chat box, and then we will answer to them one by one during the open forum. Okay? Thank you very much. God bless you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Dijuani C. Aguilar, for giving us the informative revisit on common errors in the SLMs and LR standards. So ngayon naman ay pag-uusapan natin ang mga terms of reference, task force na ito ang ating pag-uusapan, no? Ano ba yung rules and responsibilities ng bawat members ng task force? So to give us the terms of reference, let us have the Education Program Supervisor in English, Dr. Maria Perpetua Angelita Suelto.
Hello, good morning. Good morning, and first and foremost, hello, good morning. Can I be heard now, Sir Ronelo?
Yes, ma'am. Loud
Got it?
and clear.
Okay, loud and clear. Thank you so much. My courtesy to the CID Chief, Sir January Mota, to the Panabo North District, focal person, PSDS, sister akong tawag sa iya. Mary Ann
Good
Revilla.
morning.
Hello.
Yes. Good
Ganahan tayo ni
morning.
sister ko kayo, hyper kaayo, hi kaayo kanunay. Ever happy. Yeah, bisag nasa online, makita gyapon nato ma-feel gyapon nato iyahang warmth, di ba? Og uban po si String, si Estrella Maputol. Okay, sa atong mga, of course, ang atuang kaganihan, nadunggan nato atong brilliant and beautiful LRMDS coordinator, our education program supervisor, Ma'am Dijo Aguilar. Di ba, comprehensive kaayo ang iyahang gihatag sa tuan na pagpangita og kanang error. Kuya kayo ni kayo magpangita og error. Kuya kita trabaho ka ba? Another hat na po, no? Daghan na kitag mga roles na nadungagan pa jud karong adlaw nadungagan. Di ba? So gingana lang jud laban lang. Di ba? So also of course our division task force error watch coordinator Dr. Elden Orbeta. Abdi kaayo si Elden for facilitating this one. Prepared kaayo si Elden ba with all the surveillance and kuan pagid na selfie dapat. Dapat na mga selfie o kada sila ka selfie.
Yes,
And of
ma'am.
course, Panabo North District School Heads. May buntag sa inyong tanan, kauban ng mga PTA presidents, mga PTA representative, ang atong mga teachers nga dinhi karon, may buntag, may pagkabuntag sa tanan. So naduog na nato no, we have already heard about the rationale nganong nata dinhi karon nga we need this orientation. So sama sa itong nadungan kaganiha nga we are bashed, we have naantay mga public trial, mga ano ba ka ng trial by publicity, di ba no? Gibash ta, gibully ta. So daghan kaayo tungod kay daghan nakita nga mga mali sa itong mga SLMs. And kaganiha gipakita po ni Giovanni, we learned already how to find errors. What are the errors that we need to locate in order or to identify so that we'll be able to help in this bayanihan. We are all this together. So kamo nga taga North District, we are all this together. Pipilan ta kabuok karon ni 68 ta kabuok no, but then we have a new mission and our mission is to help one another to provide basic quality services through our SLMs. So akong i-share sa inyo karon ang ato ang kaning koan, ano pa siya na-share sa ta ha. Loko, di na ka mo-share. Okay, so makita nato na makita na ba ang akong presentation kay wala ba ako nagkuan? Okay na ba Sir Ronilo? Makita na ba?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Klaro, ma'am. Klaro na.
Klaro na siya. Okay. So, we will continue, no? So, okay. So, according to DepEd Secretary Leonor Magtulis Briones, if quality of education is expected to be offered, it is crucial that quality learning resources shall be provided to the learners and the teachers. So, quality learning resources should be of high quality. No tinuod begini nga quality, may high quality nga na may mga mali. Diba? Quality learning resources enables the teachers to better assist and guide learners in mastering skills, knowledge, and experiences that will support learners in school and in life. Yun nga sabi natin, we have been bashed because may mga nakita nga mga errors, may nakita nga mga mali, kabalo na kausay mga error, no? So nakita nato kag mga examples sa mga error. Karon imbis nga atong tabangan nga atong we will do our share in correcting the errors, daghang mga tao kauban nato that they are barking at the wrong tree. Diba no? Ang nagabash, naga-cyberbully, kinapakaulawan hinuon ng atong mga writers who just there to help, no, develop share their talents and their skills para sa tuang mga kabataan. So that's why we need to know our roles and functions as the appointed persons to help produce quality learning materials not only SLMs, but also other learning materials for our learners. So that's why we have here our terms of reference. So what's the relevance of the terms of reference? These terms of reference will identify as to what are our expected roles and functions. Now that you have your designation as the school task force EW or error watcher, mga watcher tang-tanan, no? So as watchers of errors, so that we will be producing error-free SLMs, we should know our functions. Para kabalo pud ta sa mga protocol, we should follow protocol. Pag nakita tang mali, what shall we do? So, in what capacity are we going to function, and asa ta dapat mo duol sa tong buhaton? That's why we have to thank our EBS in LRMDS, Ma'am Joanny Aguilar, because she was able to provide us already the links, no? Nanadadayon tayong link ba, nag-act na dayon siya, nag-provide na dayon siya og link para sa tuang tanan, para kabalo ta kung asa ta mo padala, kung natay mga makita nga mga error. Okay, so that's why we call these terms of reference. So let us start with the regional level. So as I've said, the terms of reference spells out the people who are involved in the various levels of governance and their respective roles and functions. So let us start from the regional office. Who are the people involved in the regional office? So these are the chief CLMD in the person of Dr. Mary Jean Aldiger, then the EBS and LRMDS, Ma'am Almazan, then also the EBS in the EPS in all learning areas, and the region ADM EPS coordinator. So si Ma'am Shelo Estrada. So we will now take their roles and responsibilities one by one. So for the chief CLMD, her role and functions are spearheads the implementation of the task force error watch. That's why last May 12, 2021, we had our orientation region-wide together with this was attended by the Division Education Program Supervisors and the CID Chiefs together with the LRMS, lahat no mga learning area coordinator or supervisors are there. So last May 12. So she exercises direct discretion on the acceptability of the suggested corrections. So dili kay iha dayon na siyang kung i-accept dayon niya, no? So iha pa na siyang i-studyhan. Dr. Aldiger will study as to the acceptability and the validity of the suggested corrections. Dili lang po ta siguro mo sure kaayo na mali mo na, no? So kailangan ba nato validate sad kay basin baya og naapoy lang explanation, di ba? So we need to listen also to or adhere to the validation of the regional chief, the region chief or the CID chief or the CLMD chief. Okay, nagkalibog-libog ako sa nag-off ako ang kuan ba nag-reading the lights off. Okay, so mo na siyang nagsuod na sa tanan si Ma'am Aldiger. So we also have the APS and LMDS. She creates a hotline email address where reports of errors in the SDO level shall be forwarded. So katong mga hotline email address na gihatag ganiha ni Sir John will be forwarded also to the EPS and LRMDC. So she serves as administrator of the said RO hotline email address and checks on the identified errors as what is given by our LRMDC chief, OIS chief, our LRMC supervisor si Giovanni. Okay. Then she also determines as to what learning area is involved. So for example, kung makita nato nga sa English, moto moadto dito sa kay Sir Manny Vallejo and so forth. She forwards the matter and issue to the concerned learning area education program supervisor. Aside from that, she introduces the correction to the mother manuscript upon receipt of the approved correction from the CLMD chief. and prepares a notice of correction for the recommendation of the chief, CLMD, and approval of the regional director. So you see, dili basta-basta, no? Daghan kayo siya mga dapat buhaton, dili kay, kanang legal ay ang buhaton ng mga steps. So dili lang kay tira pasagad, di ba? So the F's in all learning subject areas, no? So we have 9 learning areas, no? Subject areas. So what do? Determines the veracity of the identified error with utmost diligence. So kung naisa ka error na i-report, dili kay isa lang ang mutanaw. There are so many people involved in here. So sigurado nga with that, we'll be able to address the issue at hand. Okay? Provides the necessary correction. Have the suggested correction approved by the CLMD chief. O so dili lang po siya buot-buot kay kinahanglan pa po siya mananghid sa uban. No? So na di protocol ng sundod. Officially submits the approved correction to the APS in charge in the regional office, LRMDC, through the hotline email address. And then the regional ADM EPS, my counterpart in the regional office is Dr. Shelo Estrada. So her role is to receive and collate quarterly reports on summary of errors from the SDO level. So quarterly reports ang iandam, no, sa atong task force. Then collaborates with Region 11 LR APS on the assessment of the SDO quarterly reports and summary of errors for possible policy formulation. So that's the role of the regional ADM EPS. For the schools division office, so naay mga counterpart ang regional office sa tuang division. These are the chief of the CID chief, of course, the learning area supervisors, and we will tackle this one by one. So the schools division office, of course, our CID chief is expected to spearhead the implementation of the task force error watch in the SDO level. So that's why we have to thank Sir Jan with his counterpart also, so Dr. Elson Orbeta, for having this orientation. So dili basta-basta kay tinuod yun kayo kay by district yun siya natong gilahimo, no? We're doing this by district so that we can accommodate everyone and to ensure that everyone really is will be able to grasp, to understand the expected roles and functions and what to do in this new role of ours. Then takes charge in the forwarding of reported errors to the regional level through the regional office hotline email address in the SD developed SLMs. Okay. In the SD developed SLM case of central office or regional developed SLMs. So we have to reiterate that what we are actually reporting here are the central office and the regional office developed SLMs. Katong ato ang mga locally developed, we are expected na we will be addressing that in our level. So for example, sa learning activities sa English, so kung na may makita nga mga error dito, so dili na to i-appeal og report sa maong hotline. Okay, so make it clear, no? So katong mga locally developed SLMs, dili na to ilabot, or mga learning activity sheets, dili na to i-appeal dinhi sa reporting para sa hotline kay kini siya atuan na siyang i-address in our own level. Okay, ang ato, we are talking here about the central office. So the central office and the regional office develops SLMs. Kana atong ginagamit karon sa tibuok Pilipinas because the whole Philippines now is in the alternative delivery mode. So let's now proceed to the next one. Exercises discretion on the acceptability of the suggested corrections on SDO developed learning materials. So, sir, no? Leads the conducts of the orientation for district TFEW. So, kamo ang pinakauna ang Panabo North District. Then, another person is the EPS and LMDC. So, in the person of Joanny Aguilar. She creates a hotline email address where reports of errors from the district level should be forwarded, and she had done that already. So gihatagan na ninyo, gipicturean na ang maong hotline. And thank you for that. She serves as administrator of the said SDO hotline email address. Then assist the CID chief in officially forwarding the reported errors in the CORO developed SLMs to the regional office hotline, and checks on the identified errors SDO developed SLMs. The EPS in RMDC also determines as to what learning area is involved. So for example, kaganiha English mo tuwing kata nga example, so she will forward that matter and issue to me as the EPS in English, and introduces the correction to the mother manuscript of SDO developed SLMs. So naturally, protocol nga to ginasunod, no? We are reminded always to follow the protocol. Then the EPS and RMDC prepares a notice of correction to school heads and public schools district supervisors for SDO developed SLMs through the recommendation of the CID chief and the approval of the SDS. So napad yung approval sa tuang SDS. Dili basta-basta. Then, here comes another people who are involved in the SDO level. The education program supervisor in all learning areas. In the case of the SDO developed SLMs, determines the veracity of the identified error with utmost diligence, provides necessary correction if possible. So, kung kaya lang na ito makorreksyonan, pwede rapid siya, di ba no? Then have the suggested correction approved by the CID chief and submits the approved correction to the EPS in charge in the SDO LRMDC. So, in the various level of governance, we can see here the right steps and the right persons to go to. Okay, then the SDO ADM EPS, that's me. So I will be receiving and collating quarterly reports on summary of errors from the district level that will be forwarded to me by the district level, by the PSDS and the district TFEW. Forwards the SDO quarterly summary of reports on errors to the regional ADM EPS. So I will be consolidating all the quarterly reports. Then for the district level, so there are 3 people involved here in the district level. So kamuna ni siya sa district level. So the district TFEW coordinator, preferably the district ADM coordinator. So wala na ni siya district ADM coordinator kaya natuatanan district ko ano ta TFEW kamutanan na adini karon. So your work is to assist the PSDS in the implementation of the TFEW. Prepares the collated reports of errors from schools within the district. Okay, so collated reports. So kana mas nindot jud nga magdinabangay ta na bayanihan na ni siya. So we are encouraging you to really report the errors that you have identified, not to the proper persons. Submit said report of errors to the SDO hotline email address upon approval of the PSDS. Then, maintains the district TFEW coordinator also maintains a logbook of reported errors. So na siya logbook, no? With records of actions taken and remedy solution received. So again, maintains a logbook of reported errors with records of actions taken and remedies or solutions received. Forwards the quarterly summary of errors to the SDO ADM coordinator for assessment and future basis for policy formulation. So the deputy district TFEW, preferably also school head, serves as member of the TFEW in the district level. Actively collaborate with the PSDS and the TFEW coordinator in the implementation of the TFEW. So there is indeed collaboration even in the district. So let's now go to the school level. School level, no? So marami tayong mga participants here from the school level. What are your expected roles and functions? You're going to assist the school head in the implementation of the TFEW. Okay, so siguro kung kanito natin mga nakita na kayo, we have been implementing the ADM modules na for almost a year now. We are about to end the school year. Sigurado na may mga nakita nga mga mali, and hopefully we can help. You can help also, no, so that in the next years, in the next school years to come, we'll be able to check those errors. Okay, so hopefully you'll be able to act on it. Then you are going to prepare the collated reports of errors from teachers and external stakeholders. external stakeholders, kay especially itong mga parent because they are the ones who are assisting our learners. So kung sa itong mga nakita nga mga lista itong mga ginikanan, ato po silang ipagaano gigayon, di ba no? Then submit said reports of errors to the district hotline email address upon approval of the school head. So that's the rule of the FEW coordinator. She also maintains, or he or she also maintains a logbook of reported errors with records of actions taken and remedy solutions received. So, counterpart lang gyapon siya sa mga higher levels of governance. Forwards the summary of errors to the district ADM coordinator for assessment and future basis for policy formulation. So, for the school ADM coordinator, so dili na siya ADM coordinator, kundi school TFEW coordinator, serves as member of the TFEW in the school level, receives and collates quarterly reports on summary of errors from the teachers, works with the SDO TFEW on the quarterly summary of reports on errors. Okay, so we hope that we'll be able to receive. Okay, the date of submission will be every 5th day of the month. So hopefully we'll be able to receive your reports promptly so that we can also we will be able to forward it to the respective persons involved in this task force. So those are our levels of governance. We have our regional, our division level, our district level, and our school level. Those are the various levels of governance. And it's not new to us already. It's just that with this TOR, we will be guided as to what are our functions, and so that we'll be able to help in this Bayanihan project. So the monitoring and evaluation. Monitoring and evaluation of TFEW shall start immediately after the launching of the program. So after the launching of the program, so you have launched it already in the division, kay marang nagkuha na ni ating sir, no? So kanisad siya karon sa district level na sad siya after this orientation natay simple launching of the program. The quarterly results of the monitoring and evaluation shall be submitted on or before the last day of every quarter. Sa inyo last day, pero sa mua ipasubmit siya, di ba? So dapat 5th day of the next month, dapat nasabit na nato siya or earlier dapat kasi mga watch advocate man tayong lahat. The following are the offices and units which will implement, monitor, and or will be affected by the monitoring of the TFEW. Okay, the school level. The school head leads the monitoring and coordination with the school error watch coordinator. The school head ensures the submission of the quarterly report to the district office on the monitoring and evaluation of the program with the help of the SEW coordinator. So, kailangan crucial. Another work na po din siya sa school head, no? Kaya yan, laban lang school heads. Then, the district level shall be responsible for the monitoring of the TFEW implementation in the schools within its AOR, the area of responsibility. For this district, Panabo North District, si Ma'am Revilla. So, anytime soon, kung makita po ang atong reshuffling sa PSDSS, then you will have another chair for this. The PSDS ensures the submission of the quarterly report to the SDO office on the monitoring and evaluation of the program with the help of the district EW coordinator. Then, in the school's division level, the ADM supervisor under the Curriculum and Instruction Division, or the CID, in coordination with the Learning Resource Supervisor in the division, shall collate the monitoring reports of the districts within their SDO and shall forward the same to the regional office. Then, so regional level, the LR Regional Supervisor, si Ma'am Annalisa Almasan, and the ADM Regional Office Coordinator, si Ma'am Shell Estrada, in coordination with the Learning Area Supervisors and the CLMD, lead the monitoring and evaluation, focusing on the entire implementation of the Task Force Error Watch. They shall, with the approval of the CLMD Chief Supervisor, be responsible to furnish a copy of the said report together with all the corresponding actions taken for each case to the Office of the Regional Director. So those are the people also involved in the monitoring and evaluation. So we have also our task here. So we will be giving you a copy of this also. And this is the sample template of the monitoring and evaluation given to us by the regional office. And tentative siguro ni or pwede mo na pud ni siya gihimo no. So naman tay gwapo man tay itong mga gipanghimo pud nila Joanny silang hotline. So be using that also. So yun, that's it. To end this session, to end this orientation on TOR, let me give you this quote. To make no mistakes is not in the power of men, but from their errors and mistakes, the wise and good learn wisdom for the future. Thank you so much and have a good day, Panabo North District.
Thank you so much, Dr. Maria Perpetua Angelita Suelto. So ngayon, alam naman po natin ang ating terms of reference o mga rules and responsibilities bilang isang miyembro ng Task Force Air Watch. Handang-handa na po tayong gawin ang ating mga tungkulin. And now if you have questions, comments, suggestions, you can do so. But after the open forum, so we will have picture taking as one of our MOVs because we are doing this one for the first time. And for the open forum, we'd like to request our PSDS, Ma'am Mary Ann Revilla, to facilitate the said open forum, ma'am. Kindly take it away for the open forum.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Mga kaigsunan, do we need some clarifications? I think, thank you, Ma'am Dijo and Ma'am Bembi for the sharing. And of course, rational with Sir, our chief, the edit chief. So anybody from the group, it's now our chance to clarify things if ever. And of course, na-agree to Sir Elden, maragkuan man to ilang particular sila nga wa pala sila ka-selfie nimo.
Lagyan na kay selfie din ako like dagan tayo nga.
Alay din ko aking bigyan ng grupo ha ba? Sige, any clarifications pa ba? Silence means kaigsunan.
Silence means none.
Mas importante ang selfie, Jo.
Pero nana, sis, Ma'am Mary Ann,
yes.
Mga tanda lang ko sa field, kung naana ba dyan sila nakita ng mga error, sample errors, kanang true to life errors ba? Naana may nakitaan ng mga errors?
Kuwan daw mo. Tingog daw mga kaigsunan.
Sorry lang daw, naana dyan may nakitaan?
Yes, ma'am. Katong sa first quarter, ma'am, namin nakita sa math to siya nga grade 4. Math nga grade 4 to siya nakita namo.
Then siya method of error. Sa gihatag nga example ni Joanny.
Ano siya? Factual. It's a factual error. Sa grade 4 to siya nga math, ma'am.
Dapat tayo ma-take note, no? Para makakuha ito ni makita. Kabalo, makita po ito ni Carmen.
At iman na ni Ma'am Jo. Kay Carmen at si Ma'am Joanna, mathematics bepod na.
Oo.
Totoo na kayo ba? Imbis ka, record na nako para mo na niya kung ibalik-balik. Nagrabe na giday ko katulugon kagabi. Bakay pito dito ka slide. Nang kamali mo kukuha example. Sampo ka, good. Magbalik na po ko hanig live sa unya hapon. Imbis ka recorded na unta. Okay, magmata pa. Ito dito ka buok mo, no? Uno, matang pananaw, Ako yung naman link. Samok ka.
Good. Kaya pa na, kaya. So far, in fairness, that was...
wala niya makikita mga mali. Kasi wala na yung mga bago.
Ma'am Bimbi, maghanap pa na, mag-ano na sila ron. Kay, na, kung ano man na to ang sa ilahang role nga, kuan pa sa mga errors. So, by this time, na sila sa ilahang function to the
Basta
task to
ha,
do it. So,
the moment that you see an error and validate nga
Yeah.
error yun siya, i-report dayon. Do not wait nga tulo, duha, daghanon pa ninyo inyuhang makita
Kada
nga error
error.
kung mo-report.
Oo, kada
Any
error,
error,
report.
isa lang kabuok, report dayon kay para makita dayon nato.
Tama.
yes. So, klaro ba mga kaigsuunan?
Yes, ma'am. Noted po.
Pero
Yes,
wala gyud mo
ma'am.
po'y makita no ha, kung wala gyud po'y mo makita og error, ayo gyud mo nga inyog yung kabuntanan kay as in mangita gyud mo og error. Kung picture mo gyud,
Wag gyud sila report ng job.
Maayo ang pagkatrabaho sa atong mga development o evaluation team. Kung wala gyud di kay mura gyud natong emission gyud ba nga tininudon gyud nato nga ato ni hasasan kay isa-isahon gyud nato.
Karon
Adi
kini.
na siguro kayo nga na nga paninuod no. Ang ako amuha lang dire is the moment that you see them, syempre si teacher mag-browse man gyud na siya sa module, distribution. The moment that you see them, report. If you see nothing, then dili pod kawalan nga i-call up mo nga, oy, nga man ka nanyo, okay nakita nga report, ay, wa man kay report. Wapod kay. Pero lahi pod tong gi-ignore lang. Nga nakakita na sa mali, kapuyan lang mag-report, i-ignore na. So that's a different story.
Yeah.
Okay?
RG.
Oo, yeah.
Oo, kaya ang giingon kanina, the moment makakita kag error, bisag isa lang, so ang pinakadugay na is 3 days na mag-report ka, no? So dapat i-report na dayon. So di na ta magulat og unsa pa nga 3 days. So pagkakita nimo, nakabalo naman to sa mga kinsa mga duulon sa tong TOR.
Yes.
So
Yes, Sir Dante. No problem. Ilisan sana ko ang pizza, sir. Wow, mali kayo akong pizza ba? Pandamay.
Error na to, error.
Lagi, error na kaayo. Wrong illustration. Tamo ka.
nawaw mali to siya. Pero nice kayo no kay kompleto na tanan naman tay mga email, mga hotline na napuntay gihatag nga link si Giovanni. Basig na report automatic dito Giovanni ba? Na din to, nakakabalo.
Ako, pa siguro.
Na to, di ba
ano,
no?
ano nag-submit about?
Abangan.
So this is another designation no napud no sa nadungagan na tapos kinsa na din nga mga teacher be. Kay mga kuya magini mga teachers na adin ni pangbutang kay mga error watcher good. Kuya kay tang mga watcher karon di basta-basta.
Basta-basta.
Oh, di ba?
Pa. Guna-una pa ni sila.
Di ko na pa sila.
Wala, bantayan ginato niyo. Nana si Sir Dante, list of
Okay, pag himo pa ba, dili malikayan nga na yung mga mali pud ato kay pag himo ba ato nila or pag evaluate usually naka-online lang, di ba? So dili kayo magsige kita yun ang mga kay pas kana ato pag mag-evaluate og mga SLM so kuan daw sa hotel jud daw, no? Sa hotel. So even me naka-evaluate pud ko sa national kanang sa nakuan na pud sa national level sa central office, nakita po nako nga bisa nakuan na validate na quality assured na siya gigamit na nato na mga mali sa language so sa language yung gihapon daghang mga grammar error. Okay, so wala naman siguro yung mga pangutana.
Hilom naman sila ma'am.
Mahal man ni Ganor. Wala may pangutana. Pangutana na mo karon na bantay lang pag humana ni unya na mang PM ha kay na pangutana.
Sige patagal sa thinking time siguro
Anyway,
time.
okay.
Thinking time sa mga gamay kay 10:20 pa man. So mag-record ba doon ako sa kuang part kay para kalima balikon pero nag-usab ko sa mga slides. Nag-usab ko sa mga slides gagmay kaayo ba kung di ko alas 12 ko wala na ako nag-record. Mix agad
yan. Kuan mo po ng effective mo po ng pinalive, madam.
So, galira man siya.
Kita yung beauty. Oh. So, from the information.
Ito.
Okay, at the count of 10.
May na diri karon, may ginikaw na na parent?
Yes, yes.
Kasi pwede ba basig na inaba siya na
from
parents?
From Ma'am Joanna.
Pila ka parents na din karon?
Naa. from AO, marag sa tagakuan pod na agyapon. From Nanyo, Jo. Ha? Okay. Yes, Ma'am Victoria.
Nato siya kaniha, ma'am, pero nag-text siya nga na-out daw siya kaya nawala daw yung signal.
Okay.
Amo ang treasurer.
Kanang kuan challenge yun ang sanan niyo ba?
Oo.
Okay na, di na ito padugayon.
Okay, kay
back to you na, Sir
Ronilo.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much our speakers for
na lang, sir.
Okay, the most yes sir. Baka ito yung the most awaited moment, sir. Parang ano, yung kanilang picture taking. Okay, para sa kanilang additional MOV. So, kindly open your camera, okay, for the picture taking as one of our MOVs for the first time, no, ever our Airwatch meeting this morning. So, once again, requesting everyone to please open your camera for the picture taking. Okay?
Sir, nag-open ako, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay, so I will be the one to... Yes, ma'am. Sir, I will be the one to take the print screen. Okay? So I will count. 1, 2, 3, smile. Isa pa. Pogi points. Okay, Panabuan. Edukasyon sa Panabo pose. Panabuan pose. Sige, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, Panabuan.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much.
Pero Lilo, maraming nagtaso ka mo sa iyo.
Or any words from our...
Murag na nagtaso ka mo si Ma'am Roselyn Solonyo. Nag-raise hands na siya. Wala na nakuha na ni?
Wala pa sir, okay?
Ma'am Solonyo.
Ay, okay, sir. Okay na. Ito ng copy ni Ma'am Jo, sir. Yeah, providing with copy.
Okay.
Copy for the slide.
Ibaba, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Copy for the slide from Ma'am Bijuan Aguilar at Dr. Swelto para sa slide presentation.
Ihatag na ako kay Ma'am Revie.
Sir Lon, ako lang.
Ihatag ko na ako kay Ma'am
Revie. Ma'am, attendance link po, 45 out of 72 pa po ang naka-attendance. Naka-register.
Oo. Apin mo register, di ka milabot.
Sige daw, ipacheck na kasi wala. Baka tinda.
Okay na ganyan. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much everyone for actively participating our first virtual meeting on the Task Force Airwatch on self-learning modules. We hope we can work together for our accurate and quality SLMs for our learners. To God be the glory. Since we started with a prayer, we will end up this meeting with a closing prayer via audio video presentation.
Dakilang Diyos, Ikaw ay aming dinadakila at pinasasalamatan sa mga biyaya na iyong ipinagkakaloob sa araw-araw. Pinupuri ka namin at itinataas sa seminar na ito. Salamat sa ipinagkaloob mong oras sa bawat isa. Muli kami ay natuto mula sa mga tagapagsalita na iyong dinala at nagbahagi ng karunungan na galing rin naman sa iyo. Dalangin lang namin, O Diyos, na lagi mo lamang kaming tulungan na magamit ang aming natutunan upang sa ikatututo rin naman ng aming mga mag-aaral. Pagpalain mo ang bawat isa. Bigyan mo kami ng kalakasan na nagmumula sa iyo. kalakasan na maisagawa namin ang mga tungkulin at responsibilidad na mapaglingkuran ang aming kapwa-guro, mga mag-aaral, at lalo't higit ikaw na aming Diyos na tapat sa lahat. Sa pagtatapos ng seminar sa araw na ito, muli mo kaming kinasangkapan at pinasagana ang aming kaalaman. Ingatan mo ang bawat isa sa paggawa at paglilingkod. Tulungan mo kami, O Diyos, na mapaunlad pa ang aming kakayahan sa pagtuturo, lalo nga sistema ng edukasyon. Bigyan mo kami ng malawak na kaisipan sa pagtanggap ng hamon ito. At ang lahat ng ito ay may isa sa katuparan sa biyaya mo. Sa iyo namin ibinabalik ang walang hanggang pagpupuri at pagpapasalamat sa matamis, kapangyarihang pangalan ng iyong anak na si Jesus. Amen.
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 Okay.
Salamat.
Together and leave the meeting room in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Wonderful day, everyone.
Bye. Thank you. Uy, karon pa na ako nakita si Kuan. Dalisay.
Mainit aloy. Lloyd,
virtual.
Wala akong pakita, wala.
Sir Jan, salamat Sir Jan, salamat.
Salamat. So, kumusta man mga kaigsunan sa PNB?
Everyone.
Klaro rang Kuan. So, Kuan lagi tayo.
Klarong error, ma'am, klarong.
Klarong error.
Pangita error.
Klaro na error. Okay kayo, klaro na error.
Saka first yun na Kuan, wag yun, honestly ba, wag ko kakuan, labi na ko kaning next week pa ta. Ya pag ando gikuan na pag sa wala kita sa tanang kabisi ba. Hala, kita nam day una. Breaking gid ang ano.
Main ang una, ma'am, kay main ang una harong dagantang makitang error.
Fresh and mao man. Okay, so salamat sa mga nakatawag sa ating mga parents. At least appeal na sila sa atuang kuan. Ato ang mission to watch the errors if ever. Okay? Nang kuan na si Sir anong agda? Si Sir Jan, no? Nang merinda na. Birthday
nangagda na ganina, ma'am. Nangagda na ganina. Siya mamainit daw ta.
At least isang friendly reminders for all school heads, katong kuan ba na to, bahala na kung laag to, lami kayo kaibog na yung laag ba, pero ato lagi butang sa kuan ang mga kuan kay anta ni Sir Jan.
Kape na ko, Loy.
Lami kayo mong kape, sir ba?
Masaktan pag mag-picture, no? So, kuan lang natin.
Butangan ako. Butangan ako pundador, Loy.
Naroon si Red.
Bawal na, sir, bawal.
Salin na Sir Jan, salin sa birthday last night.
Salin sa nahuro.
Salin sa birthday the other night katong nag golden birthday, sir.
Okay. Gwapa ka isko, no?
Salamat bye Sir Jan.
Okay.
Salamat kayo, Sir Jan.
Salamat po sa mga ang attendees. Okay. Pero nagi ko kulang kasi man to mga out of kuan yung Sir Elden target viewers nato sa north. Di na kayo to kuan iyang number.
Ma'am Miriam, ipamoy to kinsa kung wala ka tindahan.
out of 72.
Loy, pamonitor Loy, kung isa wala ka
Oh, yes,
attendance
sir.
Loy.
Yes, sir. Tama, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh, may balaan man na kay may balaan may kuan control si Sir Eldin. Oh, Sir Eldin. Ikaw lang ang atupon.
Okay.
Apil ang parent kung apil ang parent kung natay parent ha sa attendance. Patangilang o kuan, patangilang kuan parent.
Naaman to sis sa attendance
Apil ang
ni.
parent din. Ah, okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you kayo, Ma'am Miriam.
Naana to sir.
Ah, okay. Mayo.
Sa attendance.
Jadi para madagan ang error.
Asan mo to si Kuan? Si Don Manuel. Kuha naman laging picture. Don Manuel. Panawagan.
Asan mas Remo?
Gani.
Nagkwento. Naning kamot pa to sir makasulod sa iyang kuan, iyang i-upload na file para sa attendance. Nag-selfie pa to sir.
Nakasulod na nagising. Nakasulod na nagising.
Morning.
Itagon
Kaya ko pero patay-patay siya ang internet dire sa Sindaton.
Oh, nasa Sindaton si Ma'am String oh.
Good morning, Ma'am String. Good morning, Ma'am String.
Namay usahay nga mo content